Do you ever vary it, or do you keep the same recipes?
We develop things all the time, so we're always working on something different. Sometimes things never work. Sometimes I can have an idea in my head for about 3 years before it happens. If there's a flavour, it's all about flavour, it's all about a memory. We don't sort of, that's where we get all of our inspiration from. It's from ingredients, but from a flavour. And that flavour can stick in your head. It's something you've eaten somewhere. It might be at home, your mum might have cooked it, or I might have eaten in a restaurant in New York, or I might have been on holiday, but there's something in it, and it just niggles and niggles, and then you start to recreate a dish around that flavour and trying to keep the authenticity of it also, but refine it for a restaurant like this.
Well, you've worked in some very exciting restaurants over the years. How much did Australia play a part in your thinking?
It was a great experience. I spent about 6 months in Australia, and it opened up just a whole different world of food, because it was moving away from that French food that I've always cooked, which I love, but it just opened up new worlds to me. I mean, Matt, my second in charge, is Australian, but it just gives you lots of different flavours to play with, and particularly sort of the Asian influence in Australia was huge, and I cooked a lot of those sort of food and those dishes when I was there, and I still love them, and actually I eat a lot of sort of Asian influenced food when I'm off work. But it does bring in real lightness of food as well, real lightness of touch, and I love that. But yeah, it's nice to marry both together.
So you wanted to cook from a very early age?
I've always wanted to be a chef, so I'm one of the lucky people that knew from the age of 15 that I wanted to be a chef. I realised I was cooking from the age of 12. I started working in local restaurants and weekends after school and school holidays, and I just really sort of took a shine to it, and rather than, I think some kids, they kind of get into pop groups or into sport, I really got into cooking, and I started reading books. I started reading Escoffier when I was 15, and I started to read like Anton Moserman's Cuisine à la carte was one of the first books that I bought, and looking back on it, obviously cooking's changed a lot, but what an incredible base. You read those things and those correct recipes of how to make the stocks, the sauces, and I was already gathering all that knowledge at the age of 15, so by the time I decided to become a chef, I really knew so much. In fact, I went to college and started to go to college, and my job as an apprentice, the head chef said to me he'd never met anyone with so much knowledge, but it was knowledge from books that I had read, so I hadn't practiced that knowledge yet, but then I set out on my journey from there.
Absolutely. Well, a lot of people following your career at the moment. I think you're one of the most talked about women chefs, well, I'd say in the world, let alone in the country.
Oh, really?
Which is terrific.
Yeah.
You must be very proud of what you've achieved.
I think that as far as female chefs are concerned, we always think that, I've never really thought about it. I've come through kitchens just the same as everyone. It wasn't until I actually became chef here that people started saying to me, I think you're the first. You know, there's not many women. Who else is there? And then that kind of became apparent, but it didn't really dawn on me at all. I was just doing the job every day, and I'm still just doing the job every day, same as everyone else.
But you wake up inspired every morning.
I love what I do, yeah, and I get better at it. The older I get, the more experienced I get, the more confident I become, and it takes many, many years to become a great chef. It's not something that happens overnight. To build a team behind you, to be able to arrive at a consistent level, I always say it takes at least 10 years of training to learn how to cook under great masters, and then to be able to build your team. And even then, it's just a beginning for me. It's not even, I've just begun now to really sort of build my repertoire, my dishes, the style of food that I'm wanting to cook, and I've got a whole career ahead of me.
Clare, I'm conscious you have a very full restaurant at lunchtime, so thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.